euro cents and 63 pence sterling. Now, while Libya is a relatively small player in the global oil market, there's little doubt the current crisis will have an impact on the global economy.
To tell us more about how the markets are reacting, we're joined now by Rod North, the Executive Director of Bourse Communications. Rod, good morning.
Good morning.
Good to see you again. So what is the fallout so far?
Well, I think the critical thing is that we've now seen the oil price go up to a 2.5-year high, but we need to sort of look at, how that sort of pans out in respect to places like Libya, for example. Now, Libya only supplied 2% of the world oil market, but yet, as Michael just said before, in relation to Europe, and in particular France and Germany, it supplies 80% of the oil. So it's this uncertainty about the market at the moment for the future price of oil and whether the supply lines of oil are going to be affected. It's not so much being driven by, the demand that's putting the price up. It's really more about the fear of the uncertainty of what will happen and perhaps what other countries in the Middle East may well be in the same position, because that really is essentially the area that supplies the largest part of oil for the world, but in particular Europe.
Yeah, in many respects, the market, as they have done in previous crises, are jumping at shadows with no firm foundation. But as you say, when you sort of take in countries like potentially Saudi Arabia, Bahrain, we're looking at potentially serious economic implications.
Absolutely, and I mean that creates, uncertainty in world markets. I mean, it's quite interesting that we're in a situation where America, of course, closed on Friday up 70 points, but because it's the President's Day holiday last night, of course, we haven't traded, so that creates uncertainty about
probably grateful for, I suppose,
what the direction is going to be. And yet, interestingly enough, in Australia, we got to sort of a 2-year high on Friday, but yet our market was off 0.75% yesterday, despite the fact we're getting some pretty good interim results coming through from our major companies. So it creates that uncertainty. We go from one moment where the world's sort of showing all signs of recovery and things are looking pretty good. Companies are showing that through their interim results and in some cases their full year results, because some companies are reporting full year. But yet we're seeing a situation now where a crisis in the world comes up with sort of uncertainty about what that's going to mean and what the implications of that are going to be.
You've been mentioning the companies reporting. What have we got to look forward to? What are the key ones?
Well, we've got we've seen some pretty good results come through yesterday from groups like Flight Centre and Caltex. The interesting one I think this week's going to be to watch out for, particularly on the retail sector with Woolworths and Harvey Norman, because we've had all those significant interest rate increases during 2010, and we saw retail figures come out recently, particularly for the sector. But it'll be interesting just to see, those companies are likely to report, earnings going in reverse. So, but it's a question of just how much, and of course that's for the half year. It's this next 6 months I think are going to be pretty critical.
Let's look briefly at the Kerry Stokes media deal announced yesterday. I think Alan Kohler, the ABC's finance presenter, summed it up best when he described it as horribly complicated, and that's certainly the feeling by many analysts as well.
That's exactly right. I mean, I was talking to a number of people yesterday about that, and it's going to take some time to sort of unravel what all that means. And in particular, where you've got one of the companies in a trading halt at the moment, I think a lot of analysts are sort of having a look at, the whole sort of depth of that deal, because, with other acquisitions that were made by Kerry Stokes over the last year or two, I mean, there are a lot of sort of disparate sort of companies now coming under that whole, group. So it'll take some time to do the analysis to work out what it all means, I think.
Good to see you again, Rod. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.